Now I can ask you, you got a chance to work on another iconic TV show, Martin. Now you were executive producer and you were writing. What's the difference between those roles, and how did that show even come about, and what was your role in it?
Yeah, well, I came onto the show after the first year, and I had done a show called Drexel's Class with Dabney Coleman for the same network, actually, and we got canceled after 18 episodes, and which was a great honor because I we got to, in the Simpsons Halloween shows. They always have a graveyard at the front, and they put all the shows that were canceled on the gravestones. And I got the honor of having a cancellation, and Drexel's Class was on one of those gravestones. But I jumped to Martin, which is the show that replaced us, on that same lineup, and Martin, it was great. I got to with my partner Tom Moore, we got to write the wedding episode, half of the wedding episode. It was a two-parter, and when he married Gina, which was great, and he did all his great characters on that episode. Mama was she had that apple head, and she was going crazy, and we had a she took a bite out of every pew, if you remember the episode, uh, which was terrific. But Martin was great. I mean, just the wealth of characters, Romy Rome and Shanae, and the great thing that I loved about that show too, it was funny. It was big funny. We got to a point, I think, in half-hour comedy where we kind of it became dramedies, and everything seemed like it was funny, but not as funny anymore. But Martin, I mean, those shows were big and funny and loud and great, and it was great working with him. And he was a perfectionist. He was difficult sometimes, as a lot of people are, a lot of stars are, but they're difficult for different reasons. And I think he was a real perfectionist. Loved his characters, and Otis, with those teeth, and it was great working with Tisha and all those great people. And tape night was really rocking. I mean, when the audience was in there going crazy, and that was the great thing about multi-camera television. Where you have it's like theater. It's like a proscenium. You move your cameras along all the sets. And now we have so many single camera half hours that we don't have that terrific ability to have an audience, feeding the actors, and it's like live theater. They feed off a live audience when they're laughing, and there's other most single camera shows, they either put a laugh track in or there is no laugh track because the audience isn't there. So those were great nights, and